What's up, beautiful besties? Welcome into the Divine Feminist by Turning Tides Tarot. My name is Alicia, and it is SoulFULL Sunday, where we have a look at what messages want to come through from our higher self, from our guides, spirit, angels, ancestors, God, whatever name you want to place on it. These are the messages that you need to hear. Okay, so if this brought you here, you're here for a reason. Okay, you're here for a reason. I'm just going to dive right into it, friends. And I just want to quickly say thank you while I'm shuffling for everybody who has been joining the movement here at the Divine Feminist, where we offer empowering messages for our glow ups and learning. And so, yeah, just thank you all for the energy exchange and for your likes and shares and just for being here with me. But okay, we've got some stuff that fell out of the deck here. And the very first question that, I feel like it's a good way to open this reading is, what is our soul trying to, tell us right now? And why is it coming through? Oh, okay. We have the Eight of Cups in the reverse, the Two of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. I'm so sorry. I meant the Ace of Wands, but you know what I was thinking in my brain? I was like, oh, well, obviously the 9 and the Ace and that adds to the 10, and I was seeing the 10 of Wands in my mind's eye. There is something that's weighing very heavily right now on your soul. Okay. There's I feel like you're at a little bit of a crossroads right now. I do have the Six of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to take a minute, sip on my tea here and tune in. But right now there's something that you might be trying to decide to walk away from. Maybe a part of you doesn't want to, or maybe your soul is trying to encourage you to stick it out, even though it feels like something has been just really heavy. Okay, really heavy. There's a desire to go after something new here, to create something new, to go in a completely different direction. And this is really coming out very strongly. So let me just tune in and get a channeled message. Okay. Okay, so what I'm really getting from this right here, it is giving the energy of knowing that you have completely outgrown a chapter or a story, and you definitely know it. Okay, but even though it feels like your soul is definitely ready to rise, to move on, I feel like there's a part of you that's still looking back here, wondering if maybe, just maybe it's worth one more try. Okay. And that's all right. I mean, it's not really about rushing forward or pretending that you don't care about this, because again, you're at some kind of crossroads. Like, you could either try again or you could move forward. Right. And I know you fought really, really hard to get to where you are right now. And I mean, I can see that with the Nine of Wands here. You are tired though. Okay. And I feel like letting go of what is familiar, even if it doesn't really feed your spirit anymore, it's not a small thing to do. Okay. It's definitely not a small thing to do. But I feel like, with the Ace of Wands, I do see that your fire and your motivation is returning here. So there's like this new spark of curiosity that's probably pulling you towards something that is more fresh, maybe a little more aligned. Okay, definitely new, but it's not random. Okay, it's not random. I feel like, your future self is holding the door open for you to walk in, like just waiting. Come on, come this way, come walk through this door, and I feel like, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself. You don't really have to just jump right into this new path. All right. But you do need to admit to yourself that, you're not, that you're no longer meant to stay, where you've already been. Okay. So I don't know. It feels like what once felt like safety is now feeling like it's just draining your energy. It feels like a leak. Like there's been some kind of leak in your energy. And I feel like it is time to gather what you've learned here. You know, bless the past and move forward. Just start moving towards this unknown. Because I don't know, it's like, it's not easy, but it's yours. Like where you're headed is meant for you. Okay. So I hope that you're picking up what I'm putting down, because I just feel like there's a call right now from your soul to trust that you're not walking away from something, that you're really walking towards where you are meant to be, okay, or where you were always meant to be. You're here at this crossroads for a reason. Like I said, I'm not getting a lot of like rushing energy out of this, but there is this feeling like, maybe I'm not ready, or maybe I'm not sure of what, should I give this another chance, or, but again, your higher self, your angels, ancestors, guides, God, the universe, spirit, whatever name you put on it, you are being welcomed, I feel like, into the next phase, okay, of your life. So, what do you need to release in order to align with this next version of yourself, or this next chapter? What do you need to release here? We've always got to release something. Okay, we have the Page of Swords in reverse, the Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, all right, and the Ace of Cups. Wow. Okay. Let me see the bottom of the deck and tune in. The Sun. I feel like this is about a dream. Oh, okay, let me tune in. Okay, so this one's a little tough, to be honest. Like, it is about a dream, like releasing. Okay. I feel like what you're being asked to release right now is a dream that you held on to with so much love here. Honestly, I see so much love. I feel like at one point it was literally everything for you. You probably imagined the whole story, the happy ending, the feeling of maybe even being seen here, the version of you who would finally feel like, oh, finally I got it. If this one thing came true, then everything would be okay, or I would be happy, or, something like that. Like the payoff would finally come in and everything would be perfect. Okay. I really do feel like you did your part. I feel like you hoped, you tried, you waited. I mean, I feel like you made space for it in your heart, in your life. All right. So it is a little bit difficult. I can see why there's a bit of like reluctance on wanting to let this go, or maybe even wanting to give it another shot here. But the truth is, not every dream is meant to last forever. Sometimes what we thought what we wanted was really just a stepping stone to discovering something that's like even more aligned for us, or even more, just something bigger and better, right? Sometimes we outgrow a dream because we're growing closer to our truth. Like we find out what we want, we find out what we don't want, what works, So it's not, you're not giving up on happiness, okay? You're giving up the shape. I feel like a good way to say it is like you're giving up the shape that you thought it would, that you believed at one point it had to take in your life, or how you thought it was going to look. So releasing that old dream, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be something that's easy, but there is something new, something coming in, right? Something softer and freer. And I feel like a lot more in alignment with you, who you are now. Because again, when you were dreaming this dream, you were not the same person as you are now. Okay. So, I don't know. It might not look like the original dream. Okay. But it'll definitely feel like home. Okay. For you, it'll feel good when it comes through. So, it feels like you're being asked to just let it go with a little bit of grace here, and maybe make a little bit of peace with this version of you who once needed, that dream to feel whole, right? And I don't know. I just feel like what's coming in next is bigger and brighter than you have even imagined, okay? So it's not like you're losing a dream. I feel like you're making space for the real dream to come in again, because you are not the same as you once were, like when you first dreamed of this dream. I hope I'm I hope you're kind of picking this up here, okay? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next question because I felt like a little bit of grief associated with this last channeling. No one wants to give up on a dream. I get it, but we do shift, we do change, and our dreams are allowed to change too as we learn and grow and, change ourselves. Okay, so what hidden gift or strength are you underestimating about yourself, or you might not realize that you could really lean into it? So was there a gift or strength here that you might be underestimating within yourself that can help you at this time? Okay. We have the King of Swords, Three of Wands, the Star, and what's at the bottom of the deck here? Death. Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. I'm going to tune in. Okay. So I feel like the strength that you could be underestimating about yourself right now is, okay, where do I start with this one? I feel like you've been through a lot. Okay. And somewhere along the way, you learned how to keep your cool and to gather the facts and, really lean in on clarity and information that was coming to you, like your discernment, even when your heart was cracking wide open. I feel like people might think that you're strong because you're logical. Okay. But I feel like your real strength is how you keep showing up with hope, even after life has gutted you more than once. Okay. I feel like you always have a vision and you can see beyond. And I feel like you hold space for what could be. So you're a dreamer already. You already are quite a dreamer here. And it's not in a fantasy way, but it's in like a grounded, led by the soul, I know I'm meant for more kind of way. You've really learned how to trust your own knowing. You've stepped like I feel like you've also stopped waiting for any kind of external validation. And I feel like that is your power, along with discernment and the ability to continuously grow and transform. I just feel like you're kind of in this in-between moment right now. And it is a deep transformation that's happening where this old version of you is dissolving completely and the new one is just starting to like stretch out the wings. Whenever I see death, I do link it to the life cycle of a butterfly, okay? And the death is for me as a reader, it's always the cocoon moment. So you're in the midst of this like major breakdown and rearranging, like even at a cellular level, okay? That's what happens to the poor little caterpillar, and then it emerges as this beautiful butterfly. But death is that cocoon moment, okay? So that's kind of what's taking place, is this deep transformation, right? That old version of you that no longer exists. If you want to fly, like the butterfly, you want to come out of the cocoon flying, you're going to have a new dream, right? You're going to have to let the old one go. All right. But I see that, that strength, like I said, that you have been underestimating about this yourself is your ability to continue to dream and to use your discernment, right? I'm not going to repeat myself here. It just feels like, you have the vision, you are the vision. And, we're not here to repeat the past. I feel like right now you're here trying to write a new future. And I feel like you do already know the way somewhere, at a soul level. Okay. So, I don't know. I just really like this vibe, actually. I really like it because just don't underestimate your ability to dream bigger, even. Okay. And to want something more and to expect something more, instead of going back to, again, there's a feeling and a knowing that you have outgrown whatever that was. All right. So if you know what I'm talking about, I mean, it's going to resonate even differently for many people. Okay. But you know what it is at a soul level. Okay. And if you're feeling confused by this time in the reading, this may not be the transmission that you need to tune into today. Okay. I'm just going to put that out there. But I want to move on to the next question. So what spiritual or emotional upgrade are you currently moving through? Because I feel like that's what this is. And I just saw 1441 on the timer. So I don't know, there's something cool about the mirroring synchronicities there. If anyone feels like looking it up to see if there's an additional message with those numbers, please feel free to do so. That would be awesome. Okay, let's get into it though. What spiritual or emotional upgrade are you currently moving through? Well, you're moving through pretty fast with the Chariot. I like to see that. It's kind of funny. Seven of Pentacles is a bit of frustrated energy, but the Chariot is movement. Let's get another one. Oh, Temperance, another major, and Six of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay, I'm going to tune into this. Okay, so I feel like the upgrade that you're moving through right now, I feel like this part of your path, your journey is asking for more patience, asking you to have more patience because, yeah, it's not the kind that you sit around and wait for something. It's the kind where you keep showing up, you keep doing your part, and then you keep trusting that what's meant for you is on the way. Because I can see that you've been planting seeds, you've been making changes, you've been healing old patterns, and now you're really learning how to move forward without needing everything to be perfect. Okay, I feel like the past might still be tugging at you at times. Memories, old versions of you, past dreams, they float up not to stop you, but I feel like to remind you of how far you've come. So you're not the same person as you were back then. You've really outgrown this old story, and I feel like you're finally writing your own. Okay, so this upgrade really is about balance. It's about choosing peace over this urgency. Like, we got to get there, we got to get it done. I feel like you're letting your future unfold, at a really nice pace. Okay, in a really nice pace. You're definitely not stuck. I just feel like it's more like settling into this new soul alignment. Okay, what's ready for you and what's meant for you is definitely catching up, and you will see some movement happening. But again, we don't need to feel like we're rushing through this whole moment. Okay, so you are moving through this upgrade, and you're just being asked, your soul self is being asked to just have a little bit more patience with yourself, okay, and the process, and just continue, like I said, to just show up and trust that what's meant for you is coming for you. It's here for you. Okay, so what future version of you is calling from the other side of this shift? Let's look at that. What future version of you is calling you from the other side of this shift? This feels a lot like a timeline shift as well. Okay, and so what future version of you is calling from the other side of this shift? Oops. Okay. Ace of Swords. Nice. I love the Ace of Swords, but here we have interesting. I got a stack of cards, right? Just flew out. And I'm gonna take it. I'll have to tune in because it's interesting. We have the Seven of Cups at the bottom of the deck. I feel like there's it feels like there's still a little bit of confusion. Like maybe you're having a hard time right now seeing clearly what future version of you, because I feel like there's many possibilities right now. So, okay, let me tune in and figure it out. Okay, it took me a minute for this one. I'm glad I'm pausing the readings to tune in. Because it's just like, I was getting, all right, so which version of you are we even calling in right now? There's so many different options. There's so many different versions of you. That's like, okay. I had to get clear here. We had to sit there and get clear. Right now, I feel like it might feel like your mind is spinning a little bit, because there's so many paths, so many possibilities. And the more you try to figure it out, the foggier it gets. Okay. And it's not a failure. It's, it's a soul pause for you, and that's okay. I feel like you're standing at this threshold, right? It's the crossroads, before you take this leap, your higher self is clearing out everything that's not aligned. And I feel like that's why things might feel a little bit shaky, a little bit uncertain here, maybe even a little bit chaotic. You're not being punished, okay? You're definitely not being punished here. It's like you're going through this refining kind of a process. The truth is going to come through, okay? But you definitely won't be able to hear it when you're trying to be everything to everyone, okay? So it really is time right now to turn inward. You're not hiding, okay, with the hermit. You're not, trying to run from anything. You just need that space and that time to tune in and listen, okay? Um, this decision doesn't have to be rushed, okay? And definitely, I feel like you're being called to honor what feels real for you, what's real. And I do feel with the Ace of Swords, I was like, that's nice because that's a flash of clarity, right? So don't brush off those flashes that come through. I feel like you'll know when you know, okay? Because that's going to be that version of you who feels honest and maybe even a little raw, maybe a little scary. It might be scary. I feel like our fear really kind of leads us. It's almost when we tune into something that we're scared to do, other than for like, I don't know, safety reasons, if you don't want to jump off a cliff, that's common sense, that kind of thing. To push through the fear would be, you're into extreme sports and that's fun too. But I mean, if you feel called to something like, say, oh, I've always wanted to be a singer, and then, you're afraid to go on stage, that fear is something that's going to kind of lead you. Like you got to work through that if you really want to, fall in line with that dream. Like, you know what I mean? So the fear kind of pushes us. But anyway, that's a little bit of a sidetrack. I just feel, that's the thing, right? So if it's a little bit scary, that's the one, that's that version of yourself that is really trying to come through this shift, right? So you don't really have to know the full plan, okay? You just basically have to stop pretending you're confused about what your soul already knows that you want, and especially if it is accompanied by fear, okay? So I don't feel like, this real, like the real you, your soul self, it's not lost, right? I feel like your soul is just waiting for you to choose you know what I mean? And to do that one thing, okay? And to go after that one thing and be that one version of yourself that you are capable of. But it might feel a little scary, okay? So it's like push through. You've got this. You're gonna be awesome. Don't stop, okay? Don't stop. All right. So I am gonna get into the next. I'm going to get into the next question here. So, what support message or sign is trying to come through from your soul self, from your spirit team, from the universe, from your guides? All right, what support message or sign is trying to come through to you right now? What support message or sign is trying to come through right now? Oh, Seven of Swords. Interesting. Ten of Swords. Okay. Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. All right, let's see the bottom of the deck. Yep, Page of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to tune into this. Okay, so this is giving a little bit of, like a final thought. I don't know why I just heard the final thought. Y'all remember Jerry Springer? Oh my goodness, the drama. It's like final thought from your soul. But, anyway, that was random. But look, okay, so you've been betrayed before, right? You've been lied to, you've been let down. And most likely even by people that you loved, okay? Or this could even be versions of yourself that you've outgrown, right? So I want you to know, like, your soul self is very proud of how far you have come. You are still rising. You're still showing up. You're still willing to build something beautiful out of all those pieces that were left behind, So I don't feel like your soul isn't asking you to pretend that it didn't hurt here. It's asking you to stop living like you expect it to happen again. Okay. That's very important. Okay. The next chapter here is not going to be about your survival. It's going to be about your uprising, your power. Okay. The glow up, right? And I feel like you've got it. Okay. Because the Queen of Wands, that energy it's already in you. Like, you're ready for this, okay? And it's not about revenge. It's not for perfection, but it's for you. It's for alignment. Like, this is glow up energy for me as a reader. Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Like, yes, that's like Phoenix rising out of the ashes energy. Okay, you've definitely learned lessons here. You've done the work. You're a lot wiser. You're clearer. You're a lot more grounded now. And it's not, what's more grounded is your self-worth. Okay. And it's not because, yeah, I don't know, it's just, it's giving a lot of stability energy here. Okay. And I feel like others may have really underestimated you. And you're not doing that to yourself anymore. Okay. So other people may have, you may even have at one point in time as well, but not anymore. Okay. Not anymore. You are ready to trust your vision. And I feel like even if you have to start small, if you need to, but definitely just start like you mean it. Okay. You don't owe anyone any explanations. All you need to do is just show them what it looks like when you turn your pain into mission, fuel, and purpose, because that's the storyline here. And that's the arc for you. Okay. This is your main character, kind of like Phoenix era story arc. Okay, this is what it's giving. And I feel like obviously your soul is here for it. I am here for it. I feel like this is beautiful. If you are still here and you're resonating with this message and it felt good on a soul level to hear it, just, pop a little fire emoji in the comments or something, okay? If you really are ready to choose yourself. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe for more divine downloads, okay? And feel free to share this with any soul sisters, who might need a little reminder of their own magic, okay? But yeah, just so you know, your future self is definitely already cheering you on. So keep rising, stay radiant, and I will see you in tomorrow's reading. Take care, loves.